wake up, and before you even open your eyes, your mind starts running. What's next on the list? Who do I need to reply to? What if this doesn't work out? We live in a world that constantly tells us you're in control. Control your career. Control your image. Control your outcomes. But the truth is, most of what we call control is an illusion. We plan, we predict, we prepare, and then life does what life always does. It reminds us that we never had control to begin with. From the moment we're born, our minds crave certainty. We build systems, routines, and goals, not because they make life perfect, but because they make us feel safe. We think, if I can just manage everything, I'll finally be at peace. But ironically, the more we try to control, the more anxious we become. Because the truth is, life doesn't obey our rules. People don't move the way we want. The world doesn't bend to our expectations. And every time it doesn't, we suffer. We suffer not because of events themselves, but because of our need to control them. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, said it simply, "Some things are within our control, some things are not." It sounds simple, yet it's the foundation of inner peace. You can't control what others think of you. You can't control the weather, the economy, or the past. You can't control how long something lasts, but you can control your thoughts, your choices, your effort. Most people do the opposite. They spend their lives trying to fix the external world, while ignoring the one thing they truly have power over, their own mind. Why do we do this? Because control gives us a temporary sense of power. It makes us believe we're safe. But when life breaks that illusion and we panic, letting go feels like weakness. But it's not. Letting go is strength. It's freedom. When you stop trying to control every outcome, you begin to see life as it truly is. Unpredictable, wild, and full of lessons. You stop resisting reality and start dancing with it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This isn't about giving up. It's about choosing where your energy goes. It's about saying, "I can't control everything, but I can control how I show up." That mindset changes everything. Because peace doesn't come from control. It comes from clarity. Imagine waking up tomorrow and truly accepting that some things are beyond you. The weather, the opinions of others, the timing of outcomes. What if you simply focused on your next action, your next thought, your next breath? You'd feel lighter, calmer, free. That's what the Stoics discovered. When you release the need to control, you discover the space to live. The truth is, you can't control the waves, but you can learn how to surf. Every challenge, every change, every loss is another wave. You can fight it and drown, or you can accept it and rise. That's the difference between fear and freedom. Fear needs control. Freedom needs trust. So the next time life surprises you, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, act with strength. If not, release it with grace. Because the moment you stop trying to control life, life finally starts to move with you. Observe. Don't react. Flow. Don't fight. And remember, peace begins where control ends. And let go and let life reveal its order. So when life feels heavy, when plans fall apart, when you don't understand why things are the way they are, remember, you don't need to understand everything. You just need to trust the process. Acceptance doesn't make life easier. It makes you stronger. It gives you peace in the middle of chaos. It gives you clarity when everything else feels uncertain. Let go of your need to know how everything will turn out. You were never meant to control the future, only to live the present fully. Trust that life unfolds as it should, not always as you want, but always as you need. And when you finally stop resisting, you'll discover a silence inside you, a peace that doesn't depend on the world. That is the power of acceptance. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. It's not the end of effort. It's the beginning of understanding. When you stop trying to control the storm, you realize you were the sky all along, calm, vast, untouched. A true freedom begins when you no longer need life to go your way, because you've learned to walk in peace with whatever comes. Mastering the self, what you can truly control. In a world that moves faster every day, where opinions echo louder than truth, and distractions pull your attention in every direction, there is one thing that still belongs entirely to you, your mind. Everything else can be taken: money, position, reputation, even health. But the power to govern your own thoughts, that's the last domain of freedom. And yet it's the one we neglect the most. We train our bodies, our careers, our images. But how often do we train the mind that controls it all? The Stoics believe that mastery of the self is the highest form of power, not dominance over others, but dominion over one's own impulses, judgments, and fears. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That's where true control begins. Not in the outer world, but in the quiet corridors of your inner one. We often mistake reaction for control. Something happens, we get angry, afraid, defensive. We tell ourselves, that's just how I am. But that's not who you are. That's simply who you've allowed yourself to be trained into. Every thought, every reaction, every emotional storm is a pattern, and what can be learned can also be unlearned. Awareness is the first step. You cannot command what you don't observe, so begin by watching your thoughts. Watch how quickly you judge, how easily you're provoked, how your mind builds stories that don't exist. You'll start to see that most of your suffering doesn't come from the world itself, but from your interpretation of it. That awareness is the beginning of mastery, because once you can see your thoughts, you no longer have to become them. Breath is the second key. When the mind races, the breath shortens. When the breath slows, the mind settles. Every deep inhale is a reminder, I'm here. Every exhale is a release, I let go. This is why the Stoics valued calm so deeply. A calm mind is an obedient mind. A turbulent mind controls you. A calm one obeys you. The world may roar, but the person who controls their breath controls their state. And whoever controls their state controls their life. Inner dialogue is the third tool. Most people live inside a conversation they've never chosen, a voice that criticizes, doubts, compares, and fears. But you are not that voice. You are the awareness listening to it. Marcus Aurelius practiced rewriting his inner dialogue every morning. He would tell himself, today, I will meet people who are selfish, ungrateful, deceitful, but I will not be disturbed by them because I understand their nature and I control mine. That's mental discipline. That's mastery in motion. Discipline isn't punishment, it's structure for freedom. We think freedom means doing whatever we want, whenever we want. But that's not freedom, that's chaos. True freedom comes from self-command, from the ability to say no to the impulse that weakens you, and yes to the choice that strengthens you. When you train your mind through consistent habits, reading, reflecting, breathing, being still, you are, in a quiet way, rebuilding your own sovereignty. Because each disciplined moment is a vote for the person you want to become. The Stoics didn't believe in escaping the world. They believed in mastering yourself within it. In chaos, remain composed. In insult, remain unmoved. In difficulty, remain disciplined. They called this ruling your ruling faculty. The ability to manage your judgments, to choose your perspective, to stay anchored no matter how the storm rages outside. So ask yourself, do you control your thoughts, Warren, or do they control you? Do you rule your emotions, or are you ruled by them? Do you steer your life, or drift with the current of habit and reaction? Because every moment life is testing this, not through philosophy but through the thousand small events of the day. When someone cuts you off in traffic, when plans fall apart, when someone criticizes you unfairly. In that split second, you find out whether you own your mind or your mind owns you. Mastery is not a destination, it's a daily practice, a quiet repetition of awareness and control. You don't need to meditate for hours. You just need to return again and again to the center, back to presence, back to breath, back to the calm observer within. That's the muscle that grows over time. That's the strength that never fades. There's a peace that comes when you realize you don't have to control the world. You just have to control how you meet it. The Stoics called this ataraxia, a state of inner tranquility untouched by fortune or failure. It's not indifference. It's mastery. Because once you control your judgment, nothing outside can enslave you. When you master yourself, you begin to see that external chaos doesn't define your inner order. The world will continue to spin, faster, louder, messier. But inside you carry a stillness that nothing can shake. That's what true strength feels like. Not loud, not dramatic, but steady, like a mountain in the wind. Discipline and freedom are not enemies. They are the same path. Discipline is choosing today so you don't become a slave to tomorrow. Freedom is not about escaping limits, and it's about mastering yourself within them. The disciplined person doesn't need the world to cooperate. They bring order wherever they go. They are free because their peace is self-made. So when life overwhelms you, when uncertainty clouds your vision, return to yourself. Breathe, observe, respond. Don't react. Remind yourself, I cannot control the world, but I can control my mind. And when you do that, the noise of the world becomes background music. The chaos outside loses its grip, and you become what the Stoics admired most, a calm soul in a restless world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That's mastery, not theory, practice, not perfection, progress. The self you build through discipline, awareness, and patience becomes the only fortress you'll ever need. Mastering the self is not about conquering the world. It's about conquering the part of you that wants to. Because once you do that, nothing outside can disturb you. You've built peace from the inside out, so stop trying to fix the outer world. It will always shift, always change, always test you. Instead, fix your inner world. Strengthen it, calm it, master it. And when you do, you'll realize that you were never powerless at all. Don't seek to rule the world. Rule your mind and you will rule everything that matters.